I love it. Before we get into the movie, though, here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passion. I want to know where your passion for filmmaking kind of came from. Was a certain movie inspired it, or something that was just naturally for you as a child?
Well, I mean, I've always enjoyed movies, and since The Parish falls into the horror category or the horror genre, we've been calling it a slow burn exorcism film or
Oh yeah.
a supernatural thriller. But my memories when it comes to the horror genre is the Poltergeist, as Poltergeist, not the Poltergeist, The Shining,
Hmm.
and there's one other. Oh, The Exorcist. So those movies as a kid, I feel like I was watching those a bit on the young side. My parents were pretty cool. They were a little loose and gave me kind of free reign, which has its good and its bad points in my opinion. Now looking back, but I think that my inspiration for really wanting to be a filmmaker came out of first and foremost being an actor, and then just not wanting to wait around for my agent to call and just having a desire to create my own work. My
Make it
wife and I
yourself.
are
I love that.
make it yourself. My wife and I are producers and actors, and we just wanted to create our own content.
I love it. Well, Bill, you've been in so many iconic roles over the years. Where'd your passion for acting kind of come from, or what were you inspired by?
Stephen, your backdrop is so much cooler than mine.
Thanks.
I want to read everything that's there. It's really fascinating. That is a great backdrop.
This is my favorite, the AT-AT Walker. So actually,
Absolutely.
I got it
What's not to
tattooed
love?
right here.
Let me see the tattoo.
Look at that. It's upside
that
down.
is awesome. That is
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah,
I became an actor so people wouldn't hit me,
Ah!
because I was one of those kids who was weird in every way, different in every way, and I got the crap beat out of me because in those days, that's what kids did. They just beat other kids they didn't like, And so I started doing impressions of teachers and principals, and I learned that if you entertain people, they don't hit you. So I thought, aha, I'll see if I can do this through my whole life. And so, yeah, my whole career is just an extended way to say, please don't hit me.
Before we get to Parish, Bill, I'm a huge Rob Zombie fan, and you were in Three from Hell, man. What was it like working with Rob in that? I mean, Devil's Rejects is still one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and Three from Hell was great.
Wonderful. He's as
Yeah.
intense as you would think, and he's in command. It's really weird, because I know his persona on stage, and it's a very, like all good personas, it's a variation of who he really is as a person. He really is intense. He really is strong and knowing what he wants, but he's also got a very gentle side. And so when he gets you to the side, I asked him if I could play with the script, play with the lines some. And he's like, oh, sure, dude, whatever you want. And I said, well, do you want me to play this as it's written? And he said, I hired you because I like what you do on screen. I want you to do your thing. And if you do your thing, I'm going to be happy. It's like, yeah. So I love working with him.
Awesome. Well, David, I always like hearing about the filmmaker's journey. So, because if you didn't have the passion for it, you would have given up probably a lot, because it is a long journey. When did this project get started? Because, when did you start finding about the script that Todd wrote, and when did you guys shoot and all that good stuff?
Yeah, Angela and I, Todd is a friend of ours that we had collaborated with on a few short films. Okay. And Angela first discovered the script with Todd. They did a reading of the screenplay, and then she brought it to me, and we started talking about it, and it came time to decide that we wanted to produce this thing. So we had to, raise some money, get some funds together, and then obviously in filmmaking, there are so many things you have to do to make sure that the project gets completed. Finding locations, casting, getting together a really great crew. We were filming I believe we finished filming it's been about a couple of years, and post-production took a while. There were hurdles. Yeah. But in that post-production journey, part of the deal is you want to get the movie out there as quickly as possible, because you finished it. It's in the can, and you want to figure out how to get it distributed, get it out to the public. But we were not happy with our first audio mix. And so we took some time and we made some changes and we got it done as well as possible, which added some more time to post-production. But in my opinion, it was worth it, because once it's out in the world, you can't, all you have then is an apology for, oh, I wish I could have done it better. So I'm very happy that we decided to, figure out how to make improvements wherever we could. And because at the end of the day, it's my name on the film. And as a director and a producer, you want to do the best you can. So it took a little bit longer, but we, I'm really glad that we took the time to get it done correctly.
Well, I'm glad you did too, because I'm actually jump ahead of myself. I really enjoyed the audio mix of it, because that's what really adds a lot to the scary element to this movie. So I guess it's a good way that you weren't happy with it and took your time and got it done. So
Absolutely.
Did you guys do like the film festival circuit by any chance beforehand, or?
No, by the time we were kind of flirting with the idea of a film festival run, we were already in conversations with Uncork'd, who's our distribution company. And, we flirted with the idea. We did have a local premiere here at the Seattle Film Summit, which gave us kind of a hometown premiere. But we didn't really think much about doing the festival run. And we just wanted to get it onto the shelves and into people's living rooms as quickly as possible.
Like I said, the movie's so good. I kind of say it's like a mix of The Exorcist and Drag Me to Hell, which I love. It's about this like mother and daughter who leave San Diego. Their husband got killed in Afghanistan, move up to, I guess, somewhere outside Seattle, I would assume, or somewhere in Washington State. And they start having these like nightmares, and the dead husband's coming back. And then there's this kind of history involved in this town and parish that we got to uncover. And I don't want to give everything away. It's really good, But I guess talk about, how did you get cast Bill involved in this? Because I mean, Bill, you're the priest that's got to kind of solve this mystery, and it was a really amazing role that you played.
Well, I discovered Bill through Film Courage interviews. And, I don't know how I stumbled upon Film Courage or Bill, but, I spent a fair amount of time on the internet because I'm an entrepreneur and I have a couple different businesses, and I love YouTube and I love learning, and I'm an actor. So I stumbled upon these interviews and just listening to Bill talking about the business and his experience of moving to Los Angeles and just, how long it takes to get established. I just was immediately drawn to Bill and his story and his charisma. So I believe I eventually reached out and we connected. And then when I was thinking about casting the part of Father Felix, which is very important, we had Angela. Obviously, Angela's playing Liz, the lead. She's my wife. She's a producer. So that was like, okay, we have our lead, but now we need a supporting cast. And for me, the Father Felix role is so crucial. And I don't know how it popped into my brain, but I eventually reached out to Bill and sent him the script and asked him if he was interested. And, the rest is kind of history. So I'd love Bill to kind of talk about what that was like for him. But I am grateful.
Yeah.
Well, so Stephen, I wanted to play a priest in an Exorcist film for a long time. Like a couple of years ago, I even took this into prayer and meditation, please let me play a priest in an exorcism film. I was really into it. So shortly after that, I got a call to do a movie called Hell's Kitty. And they said, you're going to play a priest doing an exorcism on a cat who's possessed. It was with Doug Jones. It was a comedy, and it was fun. And I was like, okay, so God has a sense of humor. But then a year later, David called, and I was really, really glad to have this role, because the reason that I wanted to play a priest is not for all that, I do that shit all the time. But what I wanted to try to bring to the screen was a good minister, like the ones that aren't full of crap. There are a few of those. They have this mix of weariness and hope at the same time. They're really tired and they're really worn down from trying to pretend they know about stuff that nobody can know about. But at the same time, they're hopeful because they know there is something bigger than themselves. So it's that mix. It's a really sweet mix of weary and hopeful. And that's what I wanted to try to bring to a role. So that's what I tried to bring to Father Felix. That's why I was really keen to do it.
Well, you did an amazing job. David, what was it like directing your wife? I mean, she has a lot of amazing performances in this. Like, you know, when especially if she's alone and grieving about her dead husband. You know.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Angela and I get along very well, and I think it was. I mean, we've worked together on and off for many, many years. We've done a lot of acting together. I had a side hustle of a dog walking and a dog training business for a while, and she was a part of that. So we've had a working relationship for many, many years. And I feel like that she trusted me. You know, I gave her, I feel like a good director will cast a project well, and then just give some suggestions very, very lightly between takes. Obviously, talk to the actors before they start each scene, and then just be supportive, but also kind of stay out of the way when you need to. And I think that I obviously believe in Angela's talent. I think she's really suited for this role. So it was great. And hopefully, if you were to talk to her and ask her how it was to work with me, hopefully she would also say something favorable, because she has said previously that she really enjoyed me as a director. So that's a huge compliment, because I've worked with a lot of directors who didn't even bother talking to me. And that's that can be hard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. So yeah, this all comes out on demand March 16th. Everyone check it out. Is there anything in the works you're allowed to talk about before I let you guys go?
We are in, well, we're on hold right now, but we have a project called Mr. Bleachers, which is a feature film that our friend Tim Carpenter directed. I play the title role, Mr. Bleachers. Angela's also in it. We're both producers. And I was just on the phone with Tim yesterday talking about something else. We have 3 more days of principal photography, but things have been on hold, and everybody knows why. So we're super excited. We're thinking maybe in late summer or the fall, where we have some longer nights and it's not bright all day long up in the Northwest. We hope to get those 3 days filmed, because I'm very excited about Mr. Bleachers. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh, cool. Bill, what do you got? Anything coming up you're allowed to talk about?
Yeah, I got a movie coming out after The Parish in a couple of months called Painkiller. It's by Mark Savage. It's about a guy whose daughter dies of opioid abuse, and he starts taking people out. It's like a Charles Bronson type of revenge picture.
Cool.
And then I'm going to Romania to play Adolf Hitler.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
I think you played other German Nazis, I think, before, right? The
Yeah.
Church for not Hitler's Bomb, I think, right? Or
That's right. I get a lot of Nazis, but I've never played Adolf
Hitler
himself.
Wow, that's gonna be interesting. Is there a website, I think, for this project, or anything we can stay in touch with? I'm sure, I don't know if you're going to be doing any like virtual watch parties or anything when March 16th happens or anything.
We have, well, the Parish is, we have a very active Facebook page for the Parish. So that's probably the best way to keep in touch with those kind of events. I think we are doing some live conversations on either the 15th or the 16th, and we're going to post all about that on our Facebook page.
All right. Well, everyone check out the Facebook page. Thank you guys so much. Keep up the amazing work. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the time, Stephen.
Thank you. Thanks,
All
man.
right.